this evening, maybe you would also put this question to yourself. Out of all that easy life that we are leading today, suppose we come to an end, what would be our destiny? Where would we ever be journeying towards? I mean, that's really a big question, and many times we'll be worried, and we don't want to think about it. We just want to live today and finish out. So I would like to just correlate this life with my specialty, that is surgical oncology, because many of you would be scared to hear the word cancer. And I know in the society also it's a taboo to speak about cancer. A cancer patient would try to hide his disease, would try to get away from the society and not tell the relatives. So this is the kind of situation in which we live, and I can say by definition cancer means it's an uncontrolled, unregulated proliferation of normal cells. So in the body, whatever cells are there, they are dividing without any control, without any regulation. So this is an abnormal growth of any tissue, that is in essence cancer. So even this is very much related to something called sin, in that's what we live in. So cancer can affect any part of the body. There is no part in the body which is exempt from cancer. So whenever we go out of the normal regulation, that is something called our life being disciplined, being regulated by superpower, by God, when we go out from that, we are turning towards cancer. We are turning to something which is unregulated proliferation of cells. So this is what is going to happen even in our spiritual lives. When we are not disciplined, when we are not in tuning with God, when we try to go astray, when we try to please ourselves, this is the time wherein we are also called cancer patients in terms of spirituality. So what I would like to say this evening is, our spiritual health is most important than our physical health. So today most of us have access, especially the technical people, we have access to a lot of knowledge and information, and at the click of the button everything is available. But one thing is for sure, are we really utilizing them for the benefit of our spiritual life? Are we heading towards more of a materialistic life? So here we see most of the times, because we have information, many times we use them for evil things. We use them for our personal needs, where we want to gratify our pleasures, we want to gratify our selfish needs, and thereby we tend to go away from God. We don't have real joy in our life because we tend to do things which are against God. Because we disobey God, that is the reason why we tend to lose real happiness and joy in our life. So this evening, maybe my emphasis is to tell you in my life how God is really working. I can tell you a couple of examples in my professional life when I could see God really working. I would narrate an example: a cancer of esophagus, that is the food pipe. The patient underwent a surgery, very major surgery, which would last for around 6 hours. And the surgery has a morbidity or mortality rates to the tune of 20 to 30%. And the surgery itself, even if it goes well, because of surgery, within 7 days the patient can lose his life. So after explanation of all the pros and cons, the patient underwent for surgery. And I do believe in prayer before I start my surgery. I believe because there is some power which can definitely control and guide us beyond what our the knowledge that we have today. So even as I began the procedure, everything went on well. The surgery got over within 4 hours. Patient came out very well from anesthesia, and first day, second day, patient doing very well. I was very happy, and I was thinking, okay, because I have prayed, God has answered, and I have done a great job. So that was the kind of satisfaction that I have had. And in the third and fourth day, sadly the patient started deteriorating. So that was the time when I was very much depressed. You say God is there, God is working, and you have prayed. So where all your prayers have gone now? You have put a lot of effort to counsel the patient. You have prayed and started the procedure. Everything went on well. You are so confident. And now the patient is deteriorating. And it came to such a situation wherein we have to ventilate the patient. We have to put the patient on a mechanical ventilator. So that was the time we called all the relatives and told them that there is no point, she is not going to survive. So everybody was explained that the prognosis, and she was about to be discharged. That was the time the attendants, they asked us to discharge the patient against medical advice. So I was very much hopeless, and only one thing I told the patient: believe in God. God can even rescue you even this hour. So with a lot of depression, I was really taken aback because my hope was very much disturbed here. and the patient was disconnected from ventilator, and they took her back home. And after 1 week, I went to the Common Medical College in Narkatpalli. The patient came walking. So this was the time I was praying for her, and this patient came to me and said, "Sir, in the last minute you said, you pray to God, God will heal you." So that is the faith that she had, and with that, it was a medical miracle. For scientifically, it's very much difficult to explain how she has survived. So with all the latest diagnostic equipment that we have, all the investigation that we have, still it's difficult for us to explain how she has come back to life. This is possible with God. God can do miracles when things are very much different, when you are going in a very suffering phase, when you are very much alone, depressed, sorrowful. This is the time God is not going to leave us. So this was very much proved beyond doubt in my life. And another incident I would like to share, when I was doing surgery on a very VIP patient. The patient is supposed to be an MLA's own sister, and she had the uterine cancer. Even as I was operating, at one particular point, there was a tear in the blood vessel. That blood vessel is supposed to be very fragile. If you handle a little bit more, it's going to tear further. So that was time when almost 30 people in the theater gathered around to watch me what I would be doing here. Because within no time the whole field was filled with blood. And everybody thought the case is gone now, she's going to die. And the more I tried to clamp it with an instrument, the more damage I'm going to cause to the patient. So this was the time when everybody was watching at me what would be my next move. That was the time I said, when things go against you, the only answer is, first thing is to press. This is called 1P. The last P is prayer. One is pressure to compress the blood vessel. The last one is prayer. So that was the time I said, okay, keep pressing it, and I prayed, and you believe me, only one attempt, one suture, and the bleeding was stopped. Everybody was surprised. It is because a very major vessel. It's not a small ooze from a very small tributary. It was a very major blood vessel that was oozing, and the whole field was filled with almost a liter of blood. And I can say for sure, timely wisdom, timely skill is always given by God. God only can give this. Now, it's not, we have not learned in our medical training how to handle such a situation. It is not possible. So whenever we come across such practical situations, these are the times God would be, through some or the other means, He would be trying to deliver us, He would be trying to show His power in our lives. So if we are void of real joy and happiness in our life, it's high time that we should think of God. God can change our lives. He can fill us with great joy. He can give us eternal peace. That's what Lord Jesus Christ said. I have come here to give you eternal life. So even if after our death we have a great hope, even as we live in this world, we have this peace and joy, and in our work life, I can say for sure, you can experience God. You may be undergoing a lot of pressure from the management, from different projects, but even during those circumstances, when the pressure is high, when the results are to be delivered, in some or the other means, God will be rescuing us. God will be enabling us to solve the problem miraculously. So this has been my experience practically, and I can say for sure, even today, God can do miracles in our lives. So not only God is a God of healing, He is also a God of giving great joy and peace to us. See, if you are sick, you need to go to the right doctor. For example, if I have eye problem, I need to go to an eye specialist. So if I have a cancer, I need to go to a cancer specialist. So I can't go to the wrong doctor and get treatment done. So even in spiritual as well, if we are suffering from a sickness called spiritual cancer, we need to go to the right person who treats that. And as I said, the sin or something which is also simply called disobedience to God. It may be in any form, we going away from God or fellowship with God, this is something which is causing us to not to love God and to be with God. So in order to remove this sickness, we need God. God only can ever give us a real separation from this sinful life. So it may be bad habits, it may be no relationship with God. All these things can be set right only by God. So how can God do this? Why at all God should do this? Because we are in a state of degeneration. Our body is in a state of degeneration. We are habituated to doing sin by birth and by our deeds. We are routinely doing wrong things. Whatever we may be pious, we may be religious, yet in some other circumstances we do falter. So we are bound to, we are destined to die, and this is the time wherein God should come and rescue us. So I can say here the very meaning of Christmas will be truthfully celebrated when we see why He has come to this world. Jesus has come to this world in order to save the lost or the sinners. So even if I am a sinner, if I have to be saved, there must be a penalty paid for me. This is what his Lord Jesus Christ has done on the cross, that He has paid all the penalty that we have taken, we are supposed to bear on the cross. So the purpose why He came to this world is this, in order to pay the penalty that we have to pay. He paid on the cross and He has died on our behalf so that we may get this gift of eternal life. So whatever may be our present situation today, whether professionally or spiritually, if we want to be healthy, we need to go to the right doctor. So as a cancer surgeon, I cannot remove the cancer that I have, that is the spiritual cancer. So I need God to purify me, to make me whole. So unless we go to God and ask Him to purify us, we will not have this real joy in our lives. So maybe today my humble request to you is think about the necessity of God in our life. Why at all do you need God? And what if you were to die today, what would be our destination? So maybe these two thoughts should stimulate us to think about God and His involvement in our life. Every day God is going to deal to us in a special way. He is going to really do great things in our life. Maybe He would give a greater success in our professional life, even in our spiritual life. So I thank you all for having given me this time and borne with me. Thank you so much.